What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Combat Sports Media YouTube channel. And before we go any further, please subscribe if you already haven't done so, and press that like button. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about the current state of the lightweight division. The lightweight division has long been my favorite division in the sport. I remember back in 2009, somebody asked me, who do you watch? Who are the guys that you watch the most, or what do you like to watch the most in boxing? What do you look forward to the most? And this was back when Juan Manuel Marquez was doing his thing against Juan Diaz, and I said the lightweights. I like the lightweights, and here we are in 2022, and shit hasn't changed. The answer is the same. I look forward to watching the lightweights. It's always a stacked division for the most part. Sometimes it goes through lulls. And on top of that, a lot of future legends do use it as a springboard, but also a lot of people also throughout history have chosen to stay and dominate at the weight as well. Guys like some of the past great lightweights in the modern era, meaning the past 15 years, are the likes of Vasily Lomachenko, Adrian Broner, Mikey Garcia. These are just some of the names that are at the premier level in the lightweight division as far as the last 15 years are concerned. Now, I know a lot of you guys like to talk shit about Broner. Hindsight is 2020, but when it comes to just strictly as a lightweight, and I know he only had a few fights at the weight, he did more work at 130, but the one or two fights that I saw, I mean, I was at the fight versus DeMarco, and that was a virtuoso performance, and I would pick that version of Broner at lightweight to beat a lot of lightweights in history, believe it or not. But, let's talk about 2022 now. We got the likes of Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, who is moving up to 140, who was the best of the bunch in my opinion. Vasily Lomachenko. We got Gervonta Davis, who's an exciting fighter. We got Devin Haney, who is doing his best at being a Floyd copycat, but Floyd in his mid-30s, not in his early 20s. And we got a bunch of other exciting up-and-comers at the weight as well, such as like Isaac Cruz. We got some low vets too. But let's talk about Lopez first, and then we're gonna move on and talk about some other guys. Teofimo Lopez. We already established he's not at the weight. He's already at 140, most likely. But I just want to say and reiterate that not only was he the #1 lightweight before moving up to 140, but I think he was, we got Kambosos too. I can't believe I forgot that. But, Kambosos, the loss with Kambosos, we gotta give all the credit in the world to Kambosos. He's one of the best lightweights in the world, if not the best. So, give credit where it's due. But I didn't like how the fans and the media just jumped on Teofimo and acted like he ain't shit, even though he is a former undisputed lightweight champion. I mean, after that loss, not only was it a very close competitive fight and arguably a fight of the year, but it was also arguably a win for him, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying he was someone got robbed or anything like that. It was a close competitive fight, and he could have arguably, you could argue that he won a close fight. You could argue for either fighter, but I don't have a problem with the decision. Credit to Kambosos. He's in the mix now. I just wanted to put that out there. that Teofimo was unfairly treated after that loss by the fans and the media. I mean, you can't. How could you go from being called one of the best pound for pound fighters in the sport, and then overnight after you're losing a fight, you ain't shit? That doesn't even make sense. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, these boxing fans need some sort of fucking balance, man. Nevertheless, a great fighter, and I look forward to his career at 140, you know? Do I think he's going to have the same kind of success? Probably not, but I do think he will give us some great fights and win a world title. Now, moving on to Kambosos, he seems like his win was the result of him being at 100% and being fully dialed in and being at his best. And Teofimo was obviously not at his best. I mean, we could tell, anybody that's been watching Teofimo for a while knows that, or could tell that there was something off about him. So, do I think Kambosos is the best lightweight in the world despite the fact that he has all the belts? No, and that's the reason why. Do I think he's a good fighter and one of the best lightweights? Absolutely. But to me, he's probably, you know, you got to give him number one because of the titles. But in reality, I think he's more like number 2 or 3. The number 1 guy, in my opinion, is Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko not only has the deepest body of work and the most accomplished, well, he never became fully undisputed, but his resume and the amount of quality wins that he has under his belt at lightweight and below are unparalleled to anyone at the weight currently. I mean, let's face it, Ryan Garcia hasn't beaten anybody as good as Nicholas Walters, right? Ryan Garcia hasn't beat anybody as good as Jorge Linares, right? So, you know, we gotta give Lomachenko number 1. He's my number 1. He's my number 1 at lightweight. I don't care if he doesn't have titles or has titles. Technically speaking, yes, of course he's not number 1 because he doesn't have a belt. But in reality, we're talking about reality, he's my number 1 because of the accomplishments. And after the loss to Teofimo, he racked up 2 great wins against top 10 lightweights. So there's no indication that he's not the same Lomachenko that he was before the Teo fight, you know? He's still firing on all cylinders, and we also got to take into account that this is already his 3rd weight class. What a fucking G. He's still pound for pound number 2 or 3 in my opinion. Just because you fucking lose, that doesn't automatically mean it's the end of the fucking world. Like, that's what these boxing fans have to fucking understand. You can't be a fighter on the status of a Lomachenko and be on a fucking tear and then lose a close fight in a unification match, and all of a sudden you go from number 2 pound for pound to not even being on a list. Like, that shit doesn't even make sense. I want to keep drilling that, you know, in people's minds. Anyway, let's move on to Ryan Garcia. Now, Ryan Garcia, a year ago after he beat Luke Campbell, you know, I was actually at that fight live. Great experience. The kid brings out fans and young fans at that. It was actually the first boxing event that I can remember being live where I saw a large number of really young people. I'm talking like teens and below. Like, there was actually a kid sitting behind me that went there with his mom. His mom brought him to the fight. He must have been like 10 years old. So that was a very a different thing about that event last year in Texas. He came off a win. He stopped Luke Campbell for the interim WBC title, and it looked like he got off to a great start to the year. But the thing is, he never fought after that, and his status has definitely, the momentum has kind of stopped, you know. But nevertheless, he's, in my opinion, a very talented fighter. Hasn't accomplished much at all. Only has 1 quality win. But he's still undefeated, And I think I would like to see him fight Devin Haney or Gervonta Davis. That's what I want to see. I don't think he has a chance of even getting in the ring with Lomachenko. That ain't going to happen. His promoters don't want it. He don't want it, I'm sure. I don't see him fighting Kambosos either. I see him fighting Joseph Diaz probably in his return fight. And if he wins that, which I'm not sure if he would, he'll probably. I want to see him fight against Gervonta Davis, or actually, yeah, I just want to see him fight Gervonta Davis. Now going on to Gervonta Davis, he he's an exciting fighter that's being that I don't like the way he's being handled, because the way he's being handled is like a fucking rock band, you know? Let's go on a tour and just sell out arenas and just perform. The people that are going to come are going to buy tickets to see us, and we're just going to keep doing that. That's basically the blueprint. Fuck that blueprint. There's no reason for me as a boxing fan to follow Gervonta Davis's career, because his fights never lead to nothing. Like, for example, when Keith Thurman fought Teofimo Lopez, I was interested in tuning in because I know that that it's going to lead to something big. It's going to lead to something bigger if he wins. And sure enough, it led to the Pacquiao fight. But with Gervonta Davis, I don't have any incentive to invest myself in his career or spend any of my time being excited about his fights, because none of his fights are going to lead to anything. It's just going to be the same shit. It's going to be subpar opponent after subpar opponent after subpar opponent. So that's all I got to say about Gervonta Davis. I hope it changes, but I don't think it will. Who else? Who else are we missing? Who else could I talk about? I guess that's it for now, man. With all that said, I just want to say this last thing. A year ago, I was even more excited about these lightweights than I was today. And so far, it's just been extremely disappointing when we talk about these young lightweights that are in the mix right now. And that's all I got to say about that. Peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys next time.